Today's first impressions video is on Valkyrie Champions, a roguelite auto fighter, as I have come to deem it. It's certainly an interesting game concept, and I've tested a couple of games like this before. It's high skill, low effort, I think would be the best way of describing it. As always, we're going to look through the options first, then we'll jump into the gameplay and I'll explain to you how it works. And there's a few things before that I need to go through as well, namely the inventory system, skill system, etc. What a very good options menu this is for a game that on the surface looks pretty shallow, and therefore you wouldn't expect something like this. You've got camera shake, which I always switch off. You've got camera in front of player. You've got post-processing, iron particles, full screen, outlines, ping, resolution, other outlines, shadows. There's shadows in this game. Like, this is a menu that I'm very, very happy to see, and I wish more games took the time to include as many things on this as what they have. Too many games feel like they don't need to because it's not that deep of a game, or there's not that much going on, or it's not that graphically intensive to most people. This is a very good options menu, and it puts a smile on my geeky little face. It really does. Your audio settings, you've only got the two options here. You've got music and SFX. There is no voice acting, no story, so to speak. It is just basically a horde auto-fighting roguelike game. And then your credits. And that's it. Let's look at what other options as a player you get to customize your characters with. So in the inventory, you have 7 different categories. You've got weapons, spells, relics, skins, wings, rings, and pets. And as you can see, these all require gold in order to buy them. They are read out because I'm not a high enough level to do that just yet. It will say what level you need to be if you try buying it, and it will be locked. Other than that, it will be grayed out and you will need X amount of gold. Now, what I will say is that getting gold is going to be a long process, and I hope that there are more weapons to come as you go further in, different types of weapons for different characters, etc. And it's the same story with your spells. Like, everything is really expensive. You've got the fire spell, which we can buy, and we're going to totally do that because it's going to make our job a lot easier. And then we're going to equip it there, and it will come up down here. And then, as you can see, you've got relics that you can also get, and all that good stuff. You've got different skins, and they do different damage types, etc. But again, very limited here, and I hope that this will increase as time goes on. You've then also got skills, which require gems. Now, you seem to get gems when you complete a level for the first time. You won't get gems if you replay a level, so it pushes you to play harder and harder levels as you go on. What I will say is the difficulty spike is fucking horrendous. It is really quite a big jump between levels. Then you've got your different characters down here, so you can see you've got the 2 different types. I love the art style. Also changes your character's look in the actual game as well, but this art is absolutely amazing, and I look forward to seeing what comes in. And then you've got down here, which is where you choose the what you're going to be doing. So as you can see, you get graded gold, silver, bronze, etc., depending on how long you take, and each mission takes you to a new level or gives you more rewards as you go through. But again, the difficulty spike it's kind of intense. It really is. But that's your setup. That's your customization channel for each character. It's not bad. Like, the perks that you get are pretty bog standard. There's nothing, you know what I mean, like it's movement, power, XP, etc. There's nothing here that is wow-erific, if that makes sense. Let's look at what the gameplay is like. Okay, so you're an auto attacker. You can use a controller with this, which is probably going to be required. And you can move and you can roll, and basically you have a number of different attacks that you will get from your inventory. So at the minute I'm using a blade plus some fireballs which fire out and do damage to all the enemies, and there are a lot of enemies. The basic way is that you've got to survive different amount of waves. The more waves you survive and the quicker you survive them, etc., and the more damage you do, the more you will get rewarded. You will get yourself some gems, you will get yourself some gold, and you will get yourself some new items as well as you go through. Now it's roguelike because you will get buffs throughout this that will, you know, enable you to survive longer and go for more waves and things. And the things that they drop will give you health as well as gold and other things like that. You will also get some chests as you go through, and they will basically give you some upgrades, be it XP, or they will give you, you know, a damage buff or a movement speed buff. We're going to go for the movement speed buff there, and then we're going to go for the movement speed again, so we're going to move a lot quicker now. And this is the game. You basically try and survive the waves, you run around, you can roll and avoid damage that way whilst also dealing damage, which is nice. And then, like I say, you will gain more power-ups. You've got a sort of special ultimate that will do a lot of damage as you go through. And as you go to harder and harder missions, you will get harder and harder objectives with each of the levels that you go through in each of the waves. So the first one only requires you to survive and kill 30 enemies, which doesn't take you very long as you go through. Then you've got to start surviving for longer, killing more enemies in this way, 60. And then once you've killed 60, you will be required to kill a boss and then do more waves and kill another boss and so on and so forth. It does get quite chaotic, but the animations are pretty good. The graphics do remind me of sort of very early Spyro days. And you can die really quickly, and that's not ideal. You will still gain experience if you die. You will get to see how much damage you dealt and stuff, but you won't get any gold and you won't get any gems. But there you are. Let me know in the comments down below if this is the sort of game that you could lose yourself in for a couple of hours, or whether it's not really your type of thing at all. Thank you very much for watching. Ciao, ciao.